Hey guys, I'm going to see if I can't show you how to do some scanning. Um, let's see what happens here. Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do is get out in a section of open space where there's nothing around you. Well, what was that? Not so open, huh? Oh, not worried about it. Okay, so get out in open space so there's more or less nothing around you. So it's kind of safe. And first thing you're going to do is, if your probe launcher isn't loaded, come down here and right click on it. And apparently when I closed my thing before, I didn't recover my probes. So let me see if I can recover them. Reconnect with my lost probes. There they are. I'm going to recover them. You can kind of ignore that part of the video, although maybe not. Alright, so now that I've recovered them, first thing you want to do is come down here and load it. I got both the combat and the sisters probes, which I'm told are better than the other probes. You can go with just the regular Core 1 probe scanners. Anyway, so come down here, click on whichever one you have, load it up. It's going to tell you up here that it's going to take 10 seconds to load the thing. In the meantime, so the way you start scanning, now that you've got your probes down here loaded, come over here to the little icon for scanners, click on it, go over here to the probe scanners, click on that. It's going to pull up this little window, and you're going to want to go over here to the solar system map. And when you click on the solar system map, this here is going to show you that there are two cosmic signatures, cosmic signatures. I already happened. This is where I'm setting. Quit that. This is where I'm setting right now. I've already scanned this one, and I know it's a gas site, so this is probably a combat site. It seems like somebody's already come in here and scanned these and cleared out the relics and the data sites. I've been through several zones now, and they pretty much have done that. So I'm not going to scan this site at all. I'm going to go ahead and scan this one and see what we find in there, because I haven't scanned it yet. So what we want to do is we want to look straight down over the top of it. Now the way you do that is you take your mouse out here somewhere in the, open space. Left click it and drag it down. Drag it down to the bottom of the screen. Okay, and as you can see now, I'm starting to look on top. Now what I want to do is take this X and put it right smack dab in the middle of the screen. So the way you do that is you click somewhere out here, and this is right click, and drag it up to the center of this map box. Alright, once you got it up there in the center, then you go ahead and launch your probes. Now they say the best way to do that is through the pinpoint. They say this spread formation doesn't do jack, so go ahead and do the pinpoint formation. So I've launched the probes, and as you can see here, they pull up in blue. Now what you can do is, I'm just kind of dragging them around here using the arrows. Left click and on the arrow and then drag it around. Okay, so what you want to do here is you want to take the center of the box here and drag it right over the top of that X. So bring it down here, and we're centered, kind of, sort of, maybe. Alright, now you see how these are kind of going diagonal. I like to get mine straight up and down. So what I'm going to do is left click over on the edge and kind of spin the screen around and get it. There we go. I'm up and down. Okay, once you got it up and down, actually, you know what? Let's turn this. Let's turn that. There we go. Let's go this way. Now the reason I went that way is because you'll see when I go to drag this. By the way, I'm doing all that with the left mouse key, clicking it and dragging it. Okay, the reason I did that is when you go down here, you come down straight in a line here, click and drag, you'll see that it turns over on its side. Now the reason I did that is so that you can see the arrows. Anyway, it's kind of important. Now as you can see, this is starting to get far away and whatnot, so again we want to get it down in the center, so we right click and drag everything down into the middle. Now like I said, it's far away, so I'm going to zoom in on it, and all you do on that is scroll with your mouse. So we're going to scroll in a little tighter, drag it back down in the center with the right click, and there we go. Now you can see I'm still a little off, so I'm going to drag it down in the center. There we go. Alright, now the next important thing here is you can see my scanners are not quite covering the red area. So what you want to do there is hit Control. Hold down Control, you'll see these little arrows pop up, and then use your mouse to scroll out. Now you can see as I'm scrolling out how the boxes or the probes no longer overlap the center point, our boxes. That's not a good thing. We want to keep them overlapped. So what you need to do here is, since we want to get as big as the red circle, what we want to do here is go over and hit Alt instead of the Control, and then scroll out and and that makes them bigger. Now as you can see, I'm way too big, but that's okay. So we'll go ahead and hit our Analyze button right here. You know, as long as we're bigger than the red, we're alright. And as long as we're overlapping, all of our circles are overlapping that center point, we're alright. We just won't get as good of a reading, but we'll narrow that down. Alright, so this cosmic signature over here, that's this one way back here in the back. We don't want that. We want to focus on this one, which is now just a red dot, which is up front. So we come down here to our probe analysis, and you can see that I've only gotten 4% accuracy so far. But what you want to do is you want to click on that, and it gets rid of all the other results up here. You know, and it only leaves us with the one little red dot now. So the other thing you can do is come down here and right click, and you can ignore all the other results. So from this point on, that's all we're going to focus on. Okay, so from that point, I'm going to kind of scroll out just a little bit. There we go. So from that point, all you're going to do is what we've just done. We're going to want to center up the box to the dot. So we do that. Now remember I showed you the line of dots across here, or maybe I haven't yet. Alright, see this line of dots going all the way across? What I like to do is I want to line that up with my arrows, these arrows here, and I want to look at the very edge of those arrows, the very side of those arrows, because that gives me the best accuracy. So I line that up with the very side, the very edge of those arrows, and that gives me the best accuracy of where that dot is in space. So once you get that, again, you know, this is my line going across here, or going across here. Once you get that, you line it up with the dot, put it in the center of the box. Alright, then I'm going to want to reach up here, and I'm going to want to scroll and look straight down on it, and as you can see, I'm no longer centered. So drag it and center it. Okay. Now, we've already technically done a scan with our probes where they are setting, so we're going to want to bring them in tighter. We're going to do that by hitting and holding down the Alt key, and then scrolling to make them a tighter circle. Okay, and again, you want to make sure everything overlaps the center. Every one of these probes, are overlapping. Okay. Once you do that, come down here and hit Analyze, and you should see this go from 4 to about 18. And only 9. That's all right. This is actually kind of cool because where you can see our dot really didn't move much, so we're pretty much getting pinpointed on it. Just start the whole routine. Yeah, look at that. Line up those other dots with the arrow. Excuse my burping. There we go. And then now that we've got everything lined up, again, hit the Alt key, bring your probes in a little tighter, and hit your Analyze button. And now we should go anywhere from 20 to 30 or even 40. Make a liar out of me. Alright, so we're getting kind of far away again, so I'm going to scroll in maybe a couple times. Get that dot into the center of the map. You're just going to rinse and repeat. Left click here to scroll up and down to line up those dots with the arrows. Now that they're lined up, kind of drag it down and centered. It's centered there, so drag again with the left. A, B, you're online. Alright, bring it back up in the center, very important. Alright, drag there and drag there. Now we're lined up in the middle. And one more final thing is to Alt and make our probes even tighter. Hit Analyze. Now we should definitely get up in the 40s or 50s. This might be a wormhole. It's a combat site. So like I said, the other one was a gas site. This one's a combat site. But just to finish this off, this isn't going to do me any good because I'm looking for data and relic sites. But just to finish this off, look straight over the top, drag it. By the way, you can now see that it's changed to an orange color instead of a red because we're getting closer. We're centered there, we're centered there. Hit the Alt key, bring the probes in even tighter, and Analyze. I'm going to go ahead and scroll in so we can get even closer. And recenter everything while we're waiting. And what do we got? We got 70%. And I'm still pretty dang close to keeping that on the center of my box. Alright, so we rinse and repeat. Okay. Center. And Alt key, drag them in even tighter. And we should get 100% now. Okay, so yeah, I've gone through a couple different zones now, and it looks like somebody's come in and cleared these out of the relic and whatnot. And there you go. Our probe analysis is done. As you can see, we can now warp to the site. If this was a data or relic site, I would go ahead and hit warp now and then start hacking. But that's a whole nother video. But guys, that's how you scan. Alright, you just kind of do the same thing over and over and over. Make your probes, with the Alt key, make the probes bigger and smaller, and keep, just go one step at a time, only one step at a time. Get it smaller. Well, try this. One step at a time, get it smaller. Do a scan, get it smaller. Do a scan, get it smaller, until you come up to 100%. Alright. Alright, well, I hope that helps, guys. Good luck, and take care.
Connected.
Okay, so first thing you're going to want to do is get out in the section of open space where there's nothing around you. What was that? Not so open. Not worried about it. Okay, so get out in open space so there's more or less nothing around you. So it's kind of safe. And first thing you're going to do is, if your probe launcher isn't loaded, come down here and right click on it,